Maureen Sullivan, who was just 12 years old when she was taken from her family and sent to live in one of the laundries. And she wrote about her experience in her memoir called Girl in the Tunnel. These are excerpts from the documentary Ireland's Dirty Laundry, which was produced by New Decade Films. Here's a brief look at Maureen's story. Take a look.
Our father had died. He died just before I was born, and my mother remarried.
In 1964, 12-year-old Maureen Sullivan, who grew up in an impoverished home, says she bravely made a confession to a nun at her school.
She called me into the office, and I told her that my stepfather was hurting me. It was sexual abuse, and I was only a little child. The next day, that there was a man drives the laundry van, and he came to collect me. I was innocent. I thought I was going to go to school. The day I arrived, I knew by the two nuns that came out to greet me, I knew straight away, this is not going to be good. In the morning, you get up early and you clean the corridors. One morning, you might polish them. The next morning, you'd shine them. The next morning, you'd wash them again. And then you go to Mass. Then you come back and you have your breakfast. And then you go on to work in the laundry. If you maybe weren't working quick enough, you'd get a dig of the cross into you. They used to carry these rosary beads around on them, big, long rosary beads. But the cross was real big on it. And they'd put their two fingers around the cross and they'd just dig it in. There'd be bruises on you for weeks after it.
Maureen says when inspectors came to the laundry, the nuns would hide her in dark tunnels for hours without food or water.
It was just horrific. And you were afraid to talk about it. And the way that the church covered up, nobody cared. I thought I was there for life. And of course it's in your head, am I ever going to get out of here? Is this my life now?
Maureen is zooming in with us today from her home in Carlow, Ireland. Maureen, hi there. Hi.
Hello. Hello.
Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
I know you've read Claire's book. What kind of emotions came up for you when you were reading small things like these?
Yes, a lot of emotions come up, but when you could get deep into it, I liked the way she told the truth about the nuns, the way that they were able to bribe people, the power that they had in Ireland. I think that's the first time that it's ever really come out that strong.
Really? Even with all the stories in the news? Because one of the things Claire was sharing with us is that, first of all, this was happening in the 80s, and the last laundry was closed, when, in 1996?
I think so, yes.
96.
Yes.
I mean, this is very, very recent that this was happening. And I hear that you felt so broken from the trauma in your 30s that you even attempted suicide.
I did, yes. Yeah, I was in a very dark place. I think you're trying to survive in your younger life, and you're working and you're trying to survive. And then all of a sudden, then it just hits you. Some stage of your life, if you don't deal with it and try and heal, it will hit you in a big way. And that's what happened with me.
How old were you when you were thinking of killing yourself?
I was in my early 30s, 34, 35, yeah.
Early 30s.
Yeah.
So what is the thing that has helped you to heal? First of all, God bless you. I read your book, which is available on Amazon. It's called Girl in the Tunnel. So those of you who have read small things like these, if you want a true story of what really happened, Maureen's book, Girl in the Tunnel, I just can't imagine the kind of courage and will it takes to be you. You are one strong, powerful woman.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Just one strong, powerful woman. To come through what you did, the assault, abuse, and constant sexual molestation from your stepfather, and your mother knew. And I love that first chapter in Girl in the Tunnel when you say, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? You simply told on him, and by telling on your stepfather, who was constantly sexually assaulting you, you then were sent to the laundries, to an even worse existence.
Yeah. I was punished. And not only that, I think then I think the part that really hurt me is when you try to heal and you try to bring your story out and heal yourself, then they denied. They were really trying to cover my story up and still are. And that's why I wrote my book. They really want to hide my story. They don't want anybody knowing that that's what they done with an innocent child that went to look for help. That nun approached me and she said, "You look pale. You look very disturbed. You're not speaking to anybody." And I opened up and trusted her and told her my story. And I went back to the nuns. I'm very lucky in life in a lot of ways. I met very good people. And the man that I started working for, Arnie Stevenson, he took me down. I said to him, "I'm going to bring my story forward. Will I damage your business?" And he said, "I don't care." He said, "I will stand by you." He said, "That story is horrific." He said, "You have to get the truth out." And when I went to meet that nun, I'll never forget it. I asked her, my boss asked her, why was my name changed? Why was my hair cut? Why was I made a slave of? And why did they hide me and not give me my education? And her words was, "I'll never forget. Mr. Stevenson, have you got children?" And he said, "I do." He said, "I have 2 daughters." She said, "Would you like your children playing with Maureen?" And he was shocked. And he said, "Why?" And she said, "We couldn't have Maureen playing with the other children. She would corrupt their little minds if they asked her why she was there."
Wow.
Yeah, I was a soiled child. So I was punished the whole way through for his crimes.
I'm so sorry. This is the thing that is so striking. Those of you who will read Girl in the Tunnel, your stepfather was a pure predator because not only was he sexually assaulting you on a regular basis, and everybody in the house knew, certainly your mother knew, and your grandmother knew, but nobody could do anything about it. But he did what a lot of predators do. He started calling you a liar. Maureen is a
Yes.
liar. Maureen is a liar. And he started doing that long before you told, so that
Yes.
when you did tell, nobody would believe you. So even at
Yes.
school, kids would call you Maureen the liar.
Yes.
Your mother started calling you a liar.
Yeah.
I mean,
He brought his children up like that. You see, his own children heard these words, Maureen the liar. He had himself covered in every way. How nasty and
Yeah.
how evil
Yeah.
of a man he was.
Yeah.